Give me an A.
A.
Give me a B.
B.
Come on, I'm a cheerleader. You guys gotta get pumped up. Give me a C.
Sexy. Hey, Daddy.
Yeah.
Actually, the guys in the very back, they weren't cheerleaders. They didn't hold confetti balls.
They held what?
They didn't have confetti balls.
Oh, they didn't have.
They weren't cheerleaders.
Are those called pom poms?
What are pom-poms?
I think those confetti balls is. I think the confetti balls you're thinking about, they're called pom poms, bud, or pom poms. Is it like they hold it in their hand and it looks like confetti?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are called pom poms. P-O-M, P-O-M.
Well, the guys in the back, they came around and gave us high fives.
Nice.
Oh, I didn't get one.
Older kids that are cool are really cool. I like that.
Well, they looked like grown-ups, but they weren't.
Well, and they're teenagers. They're turning into grown-ups. Remember I was telling you about that? Like, you guys are going to go through that. You're going to go from being little kids. Well, you've already gone from being little kids. Do you guys remember? You probably don't remember that because nobody hardly ever remembers being a baby.
Unless they are babies.
Right. But you go from being a little baby to being a, what's called like a toddler. And that's the goo goo gaga where they're crawling around. And then you turn in from that. That's like 1 to 2 years, 3 years old, right? And then you turn into that and you turn into what you guys are. You just went from toddlers to what you are now. But you don't remember that.
So, we used to be toddlers.
Man, I got videos of you guys being toddlers. Like playing with you guys with the chew toys and stuff. Well, that was baby. So toddlers are like learning how to walk. You know, the kids that still wear diapers, but they're like, they can say words, but they can't say sentences. Those are toddlers. You guys were that not too long ago, about 2-3 years ago.
Like, they couldn't say this. Like, they couldn't say this. Like, they couldn't say a whole sentence like this. Like, that's not a sentence.
So that's what I'm talking about. You went from not being able to say a sentence to now being identified what isn't a sentence. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
So a toddler is like a baby, and then they turn into kids like what we are, and then kids turn into grown-up, and then teenagers, and teenagers turn into grown-ups?
Kind of. You missed one step here, what I was trying to get across from you. It's where you just were. Like, right before you were, okay, so you started off as an infant. These are the ones that can't, like, do anything. They drink, the little babies that still breastfeed. You know the ones that drink milk from mom?
Yeah.
So those babies are called infants. The next step, like whenever they grow up and they get bigger and bigger and bigger like you guys did, the next one is, no, not quite. There's a few in between, right? So then there's baby. That's the one who is like, yeah, I guess infant, baby, and then toddler. What I'm trying to get at is you guys just came from toddler. Like kids that are in preschool are toddlers. Like, you know, your little cousin John?
Yeah.
He's a toddler.
Okay.
And he's going to be like you in a couple years. He's going to be thinking and talking and being smart like you guys.
Yeah, because I don't really know what John says yet. I don't really know.
But
like, he only says one word and another word.
right. Give it a year or two, though, he'll be talking with you like you're talking right now.
Like this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe not in that voice. Whenever I say he'll be talking like you, I mean, he won't be sounding like you. He'll be speaking like we're speaking. He'll be able to understand you and think about things.
And then he'll become a teenager.
Well, no, because there's a couple more steps, bud. So here's where you are right now. You're a kid, right?
Kid.
A boy. And from boy to man, there's one thing in between, and that's teenager. And the biggest change that you've been through was from being an infant to being a toddler, right? That baby from infant to toddler, that was the biggest change because you went from not even being able to, like, roll over on your own.
What?
Yeah, you guys were infants. You couldn't even roll over. You didn't know your hands were your hands. You discovered that later on in life.
I thought I was
No, you didn't think you were anything. You didn't know. You didn't know what a gorilla was. You couldn't know anything because you hadn't been in the world yet.
I didn't even know your name.
You didn't even know my name.
You didn't even know what a dad is.
You couldn't even imagine it because you didn't. I wasn't there yet, right? Like you were just little babies discovering the world, and all of a sudden I'm this new guy in this world, and you're like, oh, he's nice to me. He loves me, and you felt that ever since, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what Dad is.
But when I was infinite, I didn't know who you were. I didn't think you loved me. I didn't even know what love means.
You had to, I don't know, buddy. Nobody really knows what little infants know. And it's called infants, not infinity. But
Infinity and beyond.
but little infants, they're just like little blank sponges, right? They haven't soaked up any knowledge or any words or any emotions that I know of. But they still got to know, like, you guys knew that I loved you. Whenever the first time I held you, you had to have known I loved you. I bet you knew that I love you whenever you were in your mommy's belly. Because I used to talk to you all the time, and I used to kiss her belly, kept talking to you guys whenever you were inside the belly. So you'd heard my voice. You'd heard me talk to you like I'm talking to you right now.
The only thing I saw and heard was nothing, and I saw nothing.
Well, it would have been maybe a muffle like that, right? But you still would have like felt the vibration coming from my body to yours, right? I don't know what that means, but maybe it means something. But if you didn't know then, now you know now. I love you. And you know what love is, too, because you feel it back for other people, like your mommy and your grandma or your Nana B. Yeah. Your, everybody who loves you, like your Papa Alt. You guys, you know that love that you feel for him? That's real. That's a good thing. That's a good feeling to have in you.
And Papa Kevin?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Papa Kevin. Yeah, same thing. But it's all, I don't know, there's a lot of good people in your life that care about you, kids. Me and your mommy care about you so much. And you know what? That I see how much you guys care about each other, and I love that. That's great. Anyway, guess where we're going?
Where?
Defy!
Yay! We haven't been there in centuries. It says our mom's a little low on money now. On Monday, she's gonna take me to the Halloween store. Yeah! And I can get some one costume.
I was thinking next time I get to see you, next Sunday I get to see you where we got all day together, we could go to a park and we could carve pumpkins.
I wanted to carve a pumpkin since like I was 6.
Well, you've been carving pumpkins long before you were 6, bud. Both of you were carving pumpkins where you were just babies. I mean, kinda. It was me and your mommy helping you.
Okay. Yeah. So you surprised us with pumpkins, and we were like, Daddy and Mommy, we love that.
Yeah. Well, right then you just were being exposed to pumpkins. You didn't even know what they were.
Like, is this our thing to eat us? Yeah, we were like, but I want to live. And then I'm like, Stevie, go to my room. When I was first born, you were alive. Yes, that's true.
I think it was like 14 months. I don't know how to math, but that sounds about right.
Yeah, but like, when I was infinite, she was,
Buddy, I don't mean to cut you off, but I want you to know what it's actually called so you don't say it wrong. No. Infant. Infant. Say it again.
Infant.
There it is.
So when I was infant, Autumn was available. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Was she? Where was she? Was she even a thing then? I don't know. Nobody knows what you are before life. Nobody ever actually really talks about that much.
Hey, Daddy.
Yeah.
Whose name was harder to decide?
Well, I gave you your name for plausible deniability, and you'll know what that means one day. And I hope you use it. It's a good name. So,
No idea what
I know. But, I gave you a good name, buddy. I've worked hard my entire life.
I love the name you gave.
I know, me too. It's a good name. I've worked hard my entire life to build that into a good name. I've been good to a lot of people who respect that name.
And mommy said that it took her years to figure out my name.
Your name's beautiful, Autumn. Me and your mommy figured that one out together. That was really great. And she didn't take years to figure it out and then come to the conclusion. It worked out. Like, it was almost like poetry how we put it together. Because your last name was Alt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Your last name is Alt.
I think...
Her last name is Alt. Everybody in her family's name is Alt.
Yeah, we're an Alt family.
Except Mommy's real name. Last name is Smither.
It's not necessarily her real name, but she has two different kinds of names. She used to be, and she still is. So she was part of the Smither family, and your Papa Smither's great. Like, he's, you guys should be proud of that Smither name. That's a good name. Your Papa Smither worked really hard to, you know, Papa Burl?
Yeah.
He worked really hard to make that a good name. So be proud of that good name. But your mom, she took my last name whenever we got married. And then we had you guys, and I imagine it's probably really easy just for her to keep that last name.
She used to be Smither, but you guys got married and she stole your last name.
She didn't steal it. I gave it to her. We joined together, and she took my last name. And what happened is we had a couple kids, you and your sister, and you guys took our name. So we had one family name that I've been carrying, right? But she's still Smither. I mean, that's her bloodline, and that's your bloodline too.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
If you named us when we were infant, how do we know our names like right now and teenager and grown
You know your names just because they were given to you. And
Yeah,
your
but-
name can be anything you want it to be.
up? Yeah, but it's been such a long time. How do we still know our names?
Because people just keep on calling it to you over and over and over again. Every day people say your name. And then it becomes part of your identity. It's who you are, right? But the cool thing about your name is you can choose Clyde, you can choose Eric, you can choose Junior, you can choose literally anything you want. And you're not even being dishonest.
Sometimes I let my friends call me Gold because I know that on the periodic table, AU stands for gold.
You got smart friends, and you are a smart girl. That's right. AU is gold on the periodic table. How old are you again? You 6?
Yes.
Wild. I didn't even know that till I didn't learn that until I was in high school.
Oh.
I was a teenager and I was finding that stuff out. So I got a lot of faith in you guys. You're gonna do all right.
I think I learned that quicker than you when you were a kid.
I think so, but hey, don't get too proud, right? Keep learning.
I don't even know what 20 plus 20 is.
You will. What's 2 plus 2? Okay.
3, 4, then?
Well, it's not 4, but you took zeros off, didn't you? So add 0 back. What's 4 and a 0 on the back of it?
20.
40. 4 with a 0 on the back of it is 40. So if you got 20 plus 20,
I already know what 1 jillion divided by 1 jillion is.
you might know what it means, but do you know what you might know what it is?
The answer is 1.
Here's the thing about math, guys, and this is what I want you to learn about it. This is how you learn to speak it. You might be able to come to answers, and that doesn't make you smart. If you're able to take these answers and figure out what they mean and apply that to other things and fix problems with these answers, these math answers, that's what's special. Now you're talking math. So like engineers, right? They use math to get answers, and then they take their answers out here in the real world and they apply it and they fix things and do things. Fabricators do the same thing. People in construction, people that build buildings, people that make airplanes, people who make computers, people who write on the internet, everybody who does this, they take math and then they apply it to their world. And it's the application of math that's really important. Do you know what I mean by that? So like if I say, hey, what's 1 plus 1?
2.
Okay, and I throw 2 apples back there. And I'm like, hey guys, subtract an apple from that.
0.
No, you got 2 apples back there, I threw back there. And I say, hey, subtract an apple. 1 apple. How many apples do you have left?
So it's 4 subtracting 1.
No, baby, listen. I have 2 apples in my hands right here.
Okay.
I throw them in the back. Now you and Clyde both have an apple. I say subtract 1 apple, and you throw your apple out the window to subtract it, right? Because it takes it away. And now how many apples do you have in the back?
Oh, 1.
Right. That's how that works.
Why would I want to throw a delicious apple?
You wouldn't want to, or let's put it this way: you just and subtracted it by eating in 1 bite.
Okay.
All right, now we're talking.
Okay.
All right.
So if I had 10 pieces of goldfish and Autumn wanted some of my goldfish.
Let's say she ate 4 of them.
Okay, she ate 4 pieces. I gave her 4 pieces of my goldfish.
And you had 10.
Yeah, so I had 10. I gave her 4 pieces of goldfish.
Right.
And
How many you got left?
I have let's say 6.
That's math. You just took an answer, right? You just took a word problem and you thought about it, what it would look like, and you took that in your head and you did a calculation. Right? You took 10 and you took 6 goldfish out of that 10 that you were imagining, right?
Okay.
And that's how math works. It could be word problems like that too.
Are you videoing this?
Yeah, you guys are smart. I like more
Oh yeah.
recording it for posterity.
Yeah. What's posterity?
You'll figure it out when you watch this when you're older or something. So what I do is I take some of our videos and I put them on YouTube, but I list them as where they're private so nobody else can see them except for me. But I have them uploaded, right? So if I lose my phone, I still got the videos of us talking and stuff. Not all the time. I don't record everything we do, but sometimes when we're talking math and I'm really proud of you guys, I want to record that.
Okay. Hey, Daddy.
Yeah, buddy.
So if there were 5 cars in the road and one had to go to McDonald's, so it turned over to go.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the back one turned out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I minused the 1 car that wanted to go to McDonald's.
Correct. How many cars are still in the line, right?
Yeah.
How many do you think?
4.
That's correct. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but that last one dipped out, leaving 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
That's math.
And there is 3 trees on the ground, and tree chompers came and chopped those trees down, and he chopped 3 trees down, and he's subtracting those trees, so now I have no trees.
That's right. Let's do something like this, okay? Guys, Autumn, are you paying attention? I want you to hear this.
Okay.
I hand you guys 6 apples.
6.
A big bunch of 6 apples. And I'm like, hey guys, be fair, split them up. How many apples do you each get?
3.
My boy, dude, you know what you just did?
No.
You just did division. So you divided the apples up, right? That's division. If I give you guys 10 apples and I say, hey, split these up evenly, divide them evenly,
5.
that's division. You know what division problem that is? That's 10 divided by 2 equals 5.
10
Divided by 2 equals 5. I give you 10 apples and say, divide them in half, 1, 2. Equals, how many apples do you each get?
5.
5.
So, Daddy.
Man, you're already doing division?
Yeah.
Are they teaching that in the school?
No. We got
Autumn,
a better dad.
if I give you 8 apples back there, big bunch of 8 apples, right? And I say, hey guys, divide these up and split them up. How many apples do each of you get?
4.
You're doing division too. All right, let's make this a little bit more difficult.
Okay.
I went and I bought a bunch of apples.
Yes.
I bought 20 apples. And I'm like, kids, this is what we got to eat all day, all right? I got 20 of them.
Okay, 20 apples.
How many do each of you get if you divide them evenly?
10.
What about you? What do you think, Autumn?
10.
Why do you think that? Because he said that, or what do you think about that? How did you get to that number?
Because 10 plus 10 equals 20. So I just split them up and then they're 10. We each get 10 apples.
So Autumn, what you did is reversed engineered it. So you did multiplication.
Oh, what? I want to do that.
She did 10 times 2, right?
Yeah.
Equals what?
10.
20. No, it equals. You got it whenever I did the word problem, but it's 20. You got 20 apples. You divide them in half. You got 10 and 10 between 2 people.
So, Dad,
It goes backwards and forwards, multiplication and division.
Dad,
Yeah, bud.
so, I wanted to give you, 3 pictures that I drew in art.
Do you have them on you?
No, this is just math.
Oh, you're doing a math problem. Sorry.
So I gave you 3 pictures from art at school today, and you said, "Hey, Clyde, do you want one of these pictures to keep?" And I said, "Sure." So you gave me one, and I minus that one picture that you wanted to give me. So now I have 2. You have 2.
I have 2 pictures and you have 1.
Because you gave me 1 picture for me to keep, and I am minusing that 1 picture. So you have 2 now.
So, buddy, I think you're stumbling onto something. I think you're stumbling onto fractions.
Fractions, what's that?
You know, like 1/2 or 2/3 or, have you ever heard anybody say anything like that?
No.
Like half the time?
No.
That's 1/2. All right, so what you're trying to get to, right, is let's say you go to art class.
Yeah.
And out of the whole art class, the 100% of the time that you were in art class, the entire time, the 1, right? Everything I'm saying equals 1. Whole, entire. Think about this in a big picture. All of these different words mean 1, right?
No, but this is minus.
I know, but what I'm trying to get you to think of is the whole entire art class, you made 3 pictures. If you give me 1, that
No,
give
I gave you
2.
I gave you 3. I gave you 3, and you said, "Do you want to keep this one, Clyde?" And I said, "Sure." So I took it.
So you gave me all your art classes, or you gave me all your art projects out of 3.
Yeah.
I gave you 1 back.
Yeah.
So listen to this. You gave me the entirety of your projects, the whole art class. You gave to me, and then I gave you 1 back. So now I have 2/3, you have 1/3. And if we add these 2 together, you get the whole again, right? Because if I give you my 2, then you have 3 out of 3. If you give me your 1, now I have 3 out of the 3. But we split it up, and that's 1/3 that you have and 2/3 that I have. So do this again with that in mind.
So, you mean, I give you 3 art projects at school today, and, you said, hey, Clyde, do you want this one back? And I said, sure. I took it, and then, we both have 3?
How could we both have 3 if I gave you 1 back and I have the other 2?
I don't know what you're talking about.
How many, okay. There's 3 art pieces.
Yes.
I have 2, you have 1. But out of the 3, I have 2/3 of the entirety. The entirety being 3. You made 3 things the entire class, right? So I have 2 of them, you have 1. I have 2/3, you have 1/3.
Oh, so this is by third?
Yes. By third. That's a good way to say it. That actually translates to times 3. Because anything by is a multiplication problem, but that's later. So 2/3, 1/3. Because there's 3 total. And 3 is not going to change. That's the denominator. In this class, you made 3 paintings. And no matter how many you give away or how many you keep, there's only going to be 3. And that's called the denominator. That's the bottom number. Right? That's always the 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. And 3/3 is 1 whole, right? If you don't give any of your painting away, you have the whole project to yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's how fractions work.
Okay. Daddy, do you have a chicken?
I do. Kids are impressing me with how hard you're working in school to learn all this stuff. So I know you were saying the other week, math's getting real hard.
It is.
But are you starting to like it more now that you're starting to see it as language?
Oh, yeah.
It's like French or Spanish or English.
We are English.
No, we're not English. We're American. We speak English.
Yeah,
English are like people from the UK, like Britons.
This is close to our house.
Yeah, it
The
is.
old one.
We're going to Defy, so I gotta go up here and go around.
They finished it. Nice. After all these centuries. Jeez, my nose is actually still stuffy.
We're going into autumn. You know your name means fall, right? Like it's one of the seasons.
Yes.
Good. That's why I gave it to you.
So you mean autumn's gonna eat us?
Your mom liked Aurora. That's where you got that from. And I thought, oh, Aurora is cool. It starts with Aurora Alt. It would be AUAU. So I threw in. I came up with autumn. Well, we came up with it together. Your name's a hybrid of me and your mom's work. That's why it's special. And your mom wanted me to give you your name because she liked that concept.
Did both of you guys figure out my name?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So your Papa Burl, he's Burl the Third, or no, he's Burl Jr. But he never had a son, right? And if he did, he probably would have named him Burl, and he would have been Burl the Third, unless he didn't like that name. But it's a good name. Your Papa Burl's got a good name, so I imagine if he would have had a boy, he would have given it to him. But I've got a good name. I've spent my entire life building my name, so I wanted to, give it to you. Do what you want with it. Make it bigger, hold on to it, change it, whatever you want, bud. It's your name.
So did you call him Junior because he's not really you?
Right, so I'm senior. So whenever I gave my name to you, that makes me senior.
Senior means like grown up, and junior means like child.
Senior means father, junior means son.
Yeah.
Because it's two people that have the same name, and they call them the senior and junior to see, you know, father versus son. Like, imagine if like your mom's talking to your Nana B, and she's like, Eric Clyde, he's driving me nuts again. And your Nana B's like, well, which one, junior or senior? It'd be funny, right? Because we're both driving her nuts, but she wouldn't know which one. But that's how she would distinguish, right?
So mommy wouldn't know which one.
Well, it's a joke. But like that's junior means the son. Senior means
Daddy?
yeah. And if you had a son and you named him Eric Clyde Alt, he would be Eric Clyde Alt III. And if he had a son and he named him Eric Clyde Alt, he would be Eric Clyde Alt IV. I mean, by that point, one of y'all's gonna ruin this name, or I will. So we might stop passing that bad boy on at some
It's
point.
1,000.
That's funny. Autumn, do you like your name?
Yeah.
You got a really cool name.
I mean the earth isn't gonna break one day.
Autumn, do you know what an aurora is?
The princess from Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, wait till you learn about science and the cosmos.
And actually, I do not know what an aurora is.
Whenever we get up here, we'll research it. I can't believe this. I thought you already knew. I'm going to teach you about what an aurora is in space and nature.
Wait, it's a creature?
No, it's space and nature. It's aurora is
Like a desert?
a phenomenon, and it's man, I'm really having trouble articulating what an aurora is. It's basically a light show in the sky, and there's a scientific reason to why it exists, and it's really cool. We're gonna have to look it up together here in a little bit.
So it's a firework.
It's not quite fireworks. It's about electrical energy and magnetism, if I'm remembering correctly. Which you got a lot of. You got a lot of magnetism. People like you. And you got a ton of energy. It's good energy, too.
Dad.
Yeah, bud.
What would the world be like without windmills?
Well, windmills are new.
They are still?
I mean, relatively new. They're like 20, 30 years. I mean, they've been around for a long time. But people are now using windmills for energy, and that's been around for maybe the past 50 years. I mean, been really big the past 50 years anyway. It's a relatively new thing. Like, in Papaw's life, they've started using windmills for energy.
Yeah, what did they use to use windmills?
So they used to use windmills for all kinds of stuff. They would use windmills to turn a stone and grind up grain. They would use it for water pumps. It would drive a pump up and down, and it would bring water up out of the ground into the well. So they've been used for a lot of different things.
But now, they're only used for...
No, not only, but they are used predominantly for the power and electricity.
That's what I was gonna say.
I know, that's why I'm talking to you about it. I'm sorry, I cut you off a lot. I need to let you speak, son. I apologize about that. It's just I'm in tune with what you're saying. I'm trying to get to the point. Because we're on the same page, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why you and I click so well whenever we talk. Me and you too, Autumn. Is whenever we're talking, we really know what we're talking about. So we can skip a lot of the small talk, and we can get right to the points. And then get to the next points that we're excited to talk about and learn from each other. Because I learned from you guys. Do you realize that?
No.
Tell me what respect is, Autumn.
So respect is you be nice to people. And if somebody falls, don't just stand there and laugh at them. Help them up at media. That's empathy.
Well,
That's kind
no.
of respect.
So you're just saying what somebody told you to say. What do you think respect is? Like, what does it mean to be respectful to me and your brother and your mommy and your friends or strangers? What's it mean to be respectful? Oh, let's start there. What's it mean to be respectful to strangers?
To like do what they say.
No. Now, hang on, buddy. Let her talk. No, it's not necessarily do what they say. Think about this again. So respect isn't necessarily doing what somebody tells you to do. That's not necessarily a respectful thing to do at all. Sometimes it can be a bad thing if you do what people are telling you to do, right? Especially if they're trying to tell you to do a bad thing.
They can get you in trouble.
Right. So it's not respectful to them to just do what they say. That's not what respect is. You want to try it again, or you want to hear what?
I'll hear it.
Okay. Give me one more shot, and then I'll tell you. You can't be wrong. You're just guessing.
For a reason I don't really know what respect means.
But here's the thing. Even though you don't know how to say what it is, you carry a lot of respect. You show people a lot of respect. I see it. You respect me. I've seen you respect strangers too. So respect is a courtesy, right? It's an acknowledgement of another person. That's all it is. Now there's different it's like a spectrum, right? So like you respect me a lot more than you do a stranger, don't you? It's kind of like love, right? You love your friend, but you don't love your friend nearly as much as you love your mommy, right? It's a spectrum of love, and it's kind of the same way with this. It's a spectrum of respect, and respect is like a word like love or respect or loyalty or honor. All these different things that are values that mean something to you, they can mean something in different intensities on the spectrum. They can be different things on the spectrum. So respect for a stranger would be the lowest end, right? It would be like, I don't know you, but I respect you. And that means like, you're not going to hurt them. You're not going to, you're just going to be, you want to treat them the way that they're going to treat. You want to treat them the way that you want them. I can't even talk, guys. Do you know what I'm saying here? You want to treat them the way that you want to be treated.
Yeah, I know what that is.
Okay.
That's kind of like empathy.
Empathy's different, buddy. Tell me what you think empathy is.
Empathy is like a kindness to another person, and you.
Kinda. But empathy's the why you're kind, right? Kindness is respect, because you want people to treat you with kindness. So kindness is treating people how you want to be treated. If you go up and you're like, you got a booger on your face, stranger. That's not nice. What if you hurt that person's feelings, right? That's not respectful. But if you're like, hi, stranger, I hope you're having a great day. You would want somebody to say that to you, right? Because maybe it'd make you smile.
I would probably say dude instead of stranger.
Well, right. You can call them whatever you want, whatever feels right. Sir, whatever, or buddy, whatever feels right to call them. But it's just talking to them, right? And giving them respect just because they're another person and they're out here like you are. So, all right. But empathy is different. I'm going to tell you about this last one and then we'll get to it. Empathy's the why you're respectful.
Oh.
Empathy is respectful, or empathy is the why, and meaning, why do I want people to respect? Why do I want people to treat me with kindness and respect? Because you know what it's like to be treated bad, don't you? You know what it's like for people to say bad words to you. So you take what you felt in your experience, and you don't know this person that you're giving empathy to, but you're looking at them and you're thinking, man, I don't want to give you bad because I know what it feels like to get bad. So I empathize with you and I feel for you. That's what empathy is. Love you, babies.